Hey guys, how are y'all today? Happy Tuesday. It's your girl, the Brooke Ashley, and today we are here to discuss The Real Housewives of Orange County, Season 19, Episode 11. Now, I know that I said I would not be reviewing OC anymore, but the curiosity got the best of me. A few of y'all DM'd me saying, hey, Brooke, would you mind talking about Gretchen and Slade? So I watched the episode earlier today and I said, yeah, let me just jump on here quickly and let's talk about OC because I do have some thoughts. Now, guys, I'm going to be honest. This is not going to be your traditional recap. I will be jumping all over the place and some scenes I will be flat out skipping, okay? But come on in the room. Make sure to hit that like button as you come on in. For all my subscribers who are going to watch the replay, sit down and get a snack and enjoy yourself because this is going to be a fun one, okay? Hey, y'all, come on in the room. Come on in the room. Hey, y'all, how are you doing? Happy Tuesday. How are y'all feeling? How are y'all feeling? Yes, come on in. Now, guys, again, this is not going to be a traditional recap. I'm gonna be jumping around. I really want to focus on the main things between Gretchen and this new story, and then Gretchen and Slade and their dynamic, and then we'll be out of here, okay? But yes, come on in the room, get comfortable, grab a snack because it's gonna be pure jokes today, like always, okay? Hey, y'all, come on in the room. Come on in the room. Okay. Oh, you're very sweet. Thank you. I try to make things as interesting as possible. Okay. Yes. Come on in, y'all. Come on in. Okay. Okay. Your last hour of work. All right. Well, I hope that I make it fun for you. Okay. Well, come on in, y'all. Come on in. Hey, mods. How are you? Hey, Jameer. How are you? Come on in the room. And guys, we're gonna have a good time in this live, all right? Okay. If you caught my Miami live yesterday, then you know that things got a bit spicy. For no reason, I might add. So yes, we are gonna have a good, calm time today. Oh, we have Cambridge, England in the room. I love that. Bottom line of this show, if they can forgive Tamra 5011 times, they can forgive everybody. I know that's right. Hey, how are you? All right, guys. So first things first, when we open up this episode, we are in Temecula. It's Gina, Shannon, Jen, and Tamra at dinner. I'm not going to hold you guys. This scene, I didn't care for it. I feel like we're going around and around in circles with Gina, with Shannon and Tamra. I don't have anything to say. Like I'm exhausted. I'm emotionally spent when it comes to the whole Tamra and Shannon saga. So we can just skip past that, okay? Now I will be talking about the ending scene with Shannon and Tamra because I have some thoughts about that as well. But yeah, we could skip past this first scene because I don't care. So now we are in Beverly Hills because we all know that they're on two separate girls trips. We see Heather. She's hosting Emily and Gretchen at her Beverly Hills penthouse, and they're having dinner at Crustacean. And Crustacean is so good, by the way. Honey, I had a time when I lived in LA, all right? But that's another story for another day. So the dinner is over, and Heather says, before we leave, I hope you appreciate my feelings about Tamra. Was I scared of Tamra before? Yes, I was, because she is mean. Now, I still believe that Heather is afraid of Tamra till this day. I don't think that fear has left, but just my 2 cents. So now we find out, we get a very vulnerable moment from Heather. And I will say that throughout Heather's time on the show, we have seen vulnerable moments when her and Terry were having a hard time. We've gotten that from her, but not all the time. So she shares something about her father. She says that she's had many difficult people in her life. We hear a story about her father. Her father was very volatile. He would have outbursts on vacations, in restaurants. So Tamra kind of triggers her because she reminds her of her father. Now, I was surprised to hear this because we've never heard a whole lot about Heather's father. She's only spoken about her mom. And I remember that episode when Heather and Gina went to New York and her mom came to join them for dinner. And the mom, like, Heather was on edge. So it seems like, from where I sit, it seems like she had a very interesting dynamic with both of her parents, between her dad being mean and volatile and her mom being very uptight, it seemed, because Heather was really upset by her mom being so critical. And I think that's why Heather is the way she is today, right? It didn't feel sincere to me. Personally, I felt like she was acting. Oh, really? I actually felt like Heather was being very I felt like she was being sincere in that moment. I thought I could feel the warmth. I could feel the she seemed emotional talking about it. Like, it's no shade, but I don't know if Heather's that great of an actress to really pretend, fake emotions. I mean, just in my opinion, I'm just saying, right? So now we see Gretchen ask, what was the deal with you and your dad? So Heather says, thank you for asking. He passed away a few years ago, but I still have some unresolved issues. He would act a certain way that made me and my sister uncomfortable. She says, he would just have an explosion. It was very embarrassing, disturbing, and unsettling. And she shared this story with Tamra a few weeks ago so that Tamra could understand where she's coming from and why she feels that way. So, of course, with Tamra does not care to get in touch with her emotions. So she kind of dismissed Heather's story. She wasn't trying to hear it. We do have Emily saying that you cannot put expectations on people who cannot reach them. She says that I think that Tamra cannot have real friendships because she's always thinking in terms of strategy, like it's a chessboard and not an actual friendship. Now, do I agree with Emily? Yes. I don't think that that Tamra really wants friendships. She wants alliances. The way she treats the other women in the group, I agree with that. But Emily, my question for you is, if you know that Tamra is not capable of having a friendship, then why are you so pressed and so eager to be friends with her? Like, does anybody else feel that way when Emily said that? Because I know I did. I was just confused by that sentiment. Because again, we see Emily constantly kissing up to Tamra, constantly trying to hang out with Tamra, constantly trying to be up Tamra's behind. So again, I'm just confused because your actions are showing me as a viewer that you are dying to be Tamra's friend. No, even though you know in your head, in your brain, that Tamra does not want true friendship. Just saying. I'm seeing a lot of y'all say that you guys stopped watching OC. Well, I'm trying to do the Lord's work and recap a show that you guys stopped watching, okay? I had to get on this episode because I had so many thoughts. We do have Gretchen saying that Heather's hoping for a different response, and Heather says exactly. So now they go to the Abbey. Now, shout out to the Abbey. I used to live really close to the Abbey, and then Vanderpump's restaurant was right next door. Sir was right there. The Abbey is such a good time. Okay. So they're having a good old time. Now, y'all, I have to be so for real with y'all. You guys know how I feel about Miss Emily, but I can always give the girls their due. Emily is me in the club. When I'm in the club, I like to have a good time. The way those guys were picking Emily up, Emily was excited. I could not stop laughing. When Gretchen said, oh, Emily must not get any at home because she's overly excited about these guys, I said, well, are you surprised if her and Shane's marital bed seems dry? Because I've always felt that way. I mean, Emily looked like she was a starved woman. The way she was so happy they picked her up, I was screaming. But yeah, I will say though, Emily was really fun in this scene. And again, Emily, I know I get on you. I know you know how I feel about Emily, but I can always give the girls their 10s. I like a woman like Emily who likes to have a good time. Because when I go out, phones away, we are here to have a good time. So I was here for it. It was a cute moment. Yeah, she was giving very much a starved woman. All right. You said Emily would take one of those guys and leave Shane if she could. Yes. Yes, I have seen the trailer for the Housewives wife swap. It looks cute. So now, they're out of the Abbey, and we have Gretchen was also having a good time too. She was on the pole, she was having a good old time. So now they're in the car on their way back to Heather's penthouse. And Heather says, we should have done karaoke tonight as well. So Gretchen's like, oh my gosh, you want to find a place? Maybe they'll have my song. Now, just so we're clear, I've been a day one OC watcher since they first came out. I do not remember Gretchen ever singing or trying to come out with a song. I remember that Joe was trying to sing, but I did not know that Gretchen was trying to sing either. I must have missed that episode or skipped that episode. I forgot all about that. So Heather's like, wait, I didn't know you had a song. And Gretchen says, yeah, I have 4 songs. So now, you have Emily being messy, and she says, does Tamra know that? Because if Tamra knew that, I feel like she would have, played that for all of us. So Gretchen says, well, girl, it's funny you should ask, because Tamra also tried to be a singer as well. And I have the audio of her trying to sing, and the audio wasn't good. So already I'm like, Gretchen, are you ready to back up what you're saying right now? Like, let's slow your roll, girl. Let's slow your roll, because you have this habit of opening your mouth and then backpedaling when it hits the fan. And we saw that. And we saw that all throughout this episode. So now Heather and Emily are shocked. And now Emily's like, when did Tamra ever get in the studio to sing a song? So Gretchen says, oh, yeah, when she was banging. And now we don't know who she was allegedly having sex with or having an affair with, but because they bleep out the name. But allegedly, Gretchen was not, or allegedly Tamra was sleeping with this artist, right? So Heather and Emily are both shocked. And now Heather was like, wait, wasn't Tamra married during this time? And Gretchen says yes. Now, Gretchen, girl, at first I was excited when you came back on the show, but as this season has been unraveling, you are flopping hard. And I'm sorry, sis. Not sis. You are, girl, please. Because, girl, I really can't stand you now. But in all seriousness, though, Gretchen, it's giving that you came back with all these lies because you really have no storyline. We're not interested in this fake marriage, life partner stuff that you have going on with Slade. So you cooked all this stuff up. And I'm believing even more that Katie is not lying when it comes to what you and Slade told her when y'all went out to eat at Mastro's last year. Because I'm sorry, Gretchen, you're coming off as a liar. And also, Gretchen, you were off of this show for 12 years. You and Tamra have been going back and forth for over a decade. I just feel like if I had this information, if I was sitting on this tea for all these years, this is my op, I would have exposed this information a long time ago. I'm not going to wait till I come back on the show. It just felt very fake. I didn't believe it whatsoever. I said, Gretchen, you're a liar. And again, listen, y'all know how I feel about Tamra, but let's call a spade a spade. Gretchen is lying. It's just revenge. Yeah, she's been a huge flop, a disappointment. We've seen zero of her home life. I agree. Orange County is boring. Justice for Katie and her lying. I'm serious. It's true. Hey, Devonta Franklin, thank you for the super chat. Gretchen's math is going to get her sued. I agree. Shannon gets on my nerves, but I do like how she has put boundaries with Tamra. Slade is the 8th housewife. Agreed. And Gretchen, the way it's sounding, it sounds like there is no money if you do get sued. I said, Gretchen, if I were you, I would have kept my mouth shut. I don't know why you would say this. And I knew you were lying because I said, girl, it's another lie. This is another tall tale. Why would you even say this? Again, I'm no Tamra fan, but right is right. And what you're doing, I'm just like, girl, you're outright lying. But yeah, you want to sit up here and call Katie a liar. A mess. Is giving a big flop. That's why I've been believing Katie with that story. Same here. Then that video she and Jen made about Katie, I know. Gretchen can go bye-bye. We've had 2 flops back-to-back, Alexis and Gretchen. Oh, Lord, I agree. Slade put a battery in her back and she looks a damn fool. I agree. Slade has set her up for failure. And Gretchen, I'm already laughing at how it's about to go down at this reunion. I already know that you're about to be walking off that set looking like a fool. I will bet you guys money that Gretchen does not return back for season 20. I just have this feeling that Gretchen is going to quit the show because of how badly she's making herself look this season and all these lies. Just my theory. So now we get back to Heather's penthouse. And one thing about it, Heather always throws a flawless party, a flawless event, and her sleepovers are no different because, baby, you did that. I said, Heather, 8 down. We find out that she spent 15 grand on the sleepover. Now, for some reason, I felt like she spent more. I said only 15,000. I mean, you have to pay the butler, you have the chefs. So I don't know. I felt like it was more, but hey, if they say she only paid 15,000, then she only paid 15,000. But either way, whether she spent 15,000 or a million, she did a great job. The slumber party was chef's kiss. And I would pick a Heather event or slumber party any day over going to Temecula with Tamra and Gina. No thanks. So, we have Emily making a joke saying that her daughter Annabelle had a sleepover. They all slept on the couch. She said, I'm here at Heather's, and now I feel like I feel like a shitty mom. I said, Emily, girl, I know that you're saying this in jest, but there's always a bit of truth to every joke. And I'm going to need you to stop being so self-deprecating all the time. And I need you to also stop comparing. It's giving, I mean, I've always felt like Emily has low self-esteem, but the constant jokes about how, she feels like this around somebody. I'm like, baby girl, please go get some help, honey. Go see the lady immediately, because the constant jokes and the comparison, it's enough already. She's very unhappy. So now, and their kid, your daughter is a child. She's not thinking about having, all these bells and whistles for a sleepover. I'm sure your daughter enjoyed herself and had a good time. So now, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm not gonna really talk about the whole Temecula scenes. I found them so boring. I mean, Gina and Tamra on my screen for more than 2 minutes. I'm just like, I can't do it. So yeah, we're gonna kind of breeze past the Temecula scenes because I didn't care for them. So I thought it was cute to see Gretchen and Emily having a pillow fight in one of Heather's bedrooms. That was so funny to me. Were they in Heather's bedroom or were they in the guest room? Either way, when Heather came in, she was just like, what's going on? She was kind of like, girl, put my pillows back on the bed, please. So they're in the kitchen, and I love how Heather has a cute little midnight snack. She's ordered pizza for them, and they have snacks, water, sodas, all that, right? So they're like, look, they bring up the whole singing stuff when it comes to Gretchen and Tamra. So Emily's like, I'm still intrigued by this whole song. Was it a pop song? So Gretchen says, I don't remember. Somebody sent it to Slade. So now Emily's asking, why does Slade have the audio? And I said, yeah, why does Slade have the audio? I said, Slade has too much time on his hands. Slade, where is your job? Now, Slade, I just hope that you're ready, because the way I'm about to wear you out in a few minutes, because, sir, and Gretchen, let me just give you a side eye, because the fact that you got down on bended knee and proposed to a man is already a sin. But the fact that you are still with the man who's still not your husband and he doesn't have a job, and girl, and you claim to be some big Christian, you should know that the woman does not provide for a man. I said, baby girl, a hot mess. I said, my God. I said, Gretchen, I'm about to wear y'all both out because, girl, you tried it. I said, this is a hot mess. But Slade, you're sitting over here with audio and screenshots, but you don't have a job. You don't have any money in the bank. Like, I'm confused. Like Nene said, stay out of women's business. You're in here in this gossip, housewives gossip, but yet you aren't going to work every day. Get a job. The word of the day is a job. 1 word, 3 letters. Get a job. Yes, when she proposed to that man, she proposed to him, 16 years ago? Her season 8 is when she proposed to him. I almost vomited when I saw it. It's just a mess. I said, girl, you need help. Didn't she say that his dick was broken didn't she say that? So it's not that good. It's not that good because, again, I'm just a hot mess. So now you have Gretchen. Oh, they're asking if she can find her phone because they want to hear the audio of Tamra singing. And you have Gretchen, like she's going all over the penthouse trying to find her phone. Now, if we want to talk about bad acting, Gretchen's acting in this scene was so fake when she was like, oh my gosh, where's my phone? Where is it? I can't find my phone. Has anybody seen my phone? It was like, girl, it was just in your hand. You just had your phone 2 minutes ago. Now, all of a sudden, when they ask you for the audio of Tamra, now it's, where is my phone? Where is it? Has anybody seen it? Have you seen my phone? I think I lost my phone. Emily was just like, girl, stop all this lying, stop all this stalling. Where's your damn phone? Even Heather was looking at you like, girl, stop. You had your phone right here. Exactly. Like, call the phone, Gretchen. Exactly. So now you have Gretchen miraculously find her phone after all that faking. And now she FaceTimes Slade. So she gives the phone to Emily. So now Emily's questioning Slade, and she says, hey, Slade, it's come to my attention that there's some audio of Tamara singing in a studio. Gretchen says that you have it. So Slade says, oh yeah, the story goes that she was trying to record a song. And then the two of them, her and the artist or her and the producer, started messing around and they forgot that they were recording. So there's audio of them having sex. So now Emily's confused. She's like, wait, what? There's audio of them having sex? So Slade says, well, that's just what I've been told. So now Emily's like, wait, Gretchen, you said that Slade had the audio. So Gretchen says, no, I never said that. I just said that I heard the audio in the studio of her trying to sing the song. I said, wait, unless I'm crazy, unless I didn't hear it right, I could have sworn that Gretchen said that that they had the audio. Remember, I thought that they had the audio of everything. Now she wants to backpedal and pretend. I said, again, Gretchen, the same way you lied about what you told Shannon and Tamara in that car in New Orleans, you're doing the same thing now where you're lying. You said to Tamara and Shannon that you did go to the hospital. Then you went back and said, no, I never said that. I said that I was so sick that I felt like I should have gone to the hospital. You're a liar. You were talking about, oh yeah, I have the audio and I might play it for you. Then when Emily and Heather press you about it, now all of a sudden it's, oh no, I never said I had the audio. I just heard the audio with my 2 ears. But girl, it's all these stories. I said, Gretchen, you should feel so embarrassed. You are a liar and a bad one. Yeah, they did not have a chance to rehearse the story. Yep, they sure did. They definitely gave, we cooked this up for a storyline, and now we are backpedaling because we forgot what the story was. Honey, when Slade popped off, when they gave him his own confessional in this scene, I said, get Slade off my screen, like you said. I was so irritated. And if Slade does not look like a dusty, broke, if Slade does not look messy, dusty, and broke, I said, please get this man a job and get him off of my screen. You have a confessional. And I said, and you know they paid him the day rate and craft services for his little 30-second appearance. I said, it's so embarrassing. So embarrassing. Just a mess. This is your man, Gretchen? This is your man. And you gonna stick beside him. A hot mess. She should be embarrassed. I hate to see a dusty, destitute man coming my way or on my screen. Same here. Slade took the Panera gift card and said, thank you. He was very comfortable in that confessional chair, just like John Jansen was last year. Child, he looked real rough. A mess. So now we have Emily give Gretchen her phone back. Heather's over it. She says, I just wanted to hear the audio of Tamara singing. I don't care about this other stuff that you guys are talking about. I don't, that whole thing about hearing her have sex with somebody else is just gross. So now I will say, Emily, I don't know what it was about this episode, but the fact that I was on your side, I said, Emily, I don't think that I have ever been on your side, ever. This was the first time in the 8 years that you have been on this show where I said, girl, I actually see you. Emily, when you said that Slade salivates at the mouth when it comes to Tamra. I said truer words had never been spoken, because if I'm not trying to be funny, but it's giving that Slade might low-key have a crush on Tamra. Because yes, I understand that Tamra's been so awful to him, but the fact that he's so worried about Tamra still, but he's not getting a job, it says a lot to me. The fact that he would even sit up here and cook this whole lie up about having audio of her having sex with somebody else while she's married, it's just giving, it's delusional, it's messy, and it's giving maybe a secret crush, because I don't get it. I don't get it. It's weird. And Emily, I agree with you, because it's like he really gets off on talking about Tamra. So now we have Gretchen. Now Gretchen must have been sobering up and realizing that she had messed up, put her foot in her mouth, because the way Miss Mamas immediately began backpedaling, she was just like, guys, please don't go back and tell Tamra. It's going to be a problem. Heather was so messy. Heather was like, girl, it's too late. Like, too late. It's too late for that. And I said, girl, this is why you need to think before you speak. Don't be so quick to try to be messy and shady, especially if it's based on a lie. It's okay to keep your mouth shut. Y'all were having a nice time, having a cute girls' weekend, and now here you go, coming with a bold-faced lie, and you know you're about to get torn up by Tamra in the remaining episodes, and now you're scared. I said, girl. So now they were making it clear that she effed up opening up her mouth, and that they will be running back and telling her, because she keeps saying, guys, please don't be like that. Like, please don't say anything. I don't want to be in trouble. I said, now, Gretchen, you've been popping big shit like you're not afraid of Tamra. So, girl, you said it. Stand 10 toes down in it and own it. Just saying. So now we see it's the next day. It's the next morning. And when I tell you, Heather gets an A+. Heather is, I think, one of the best hostesses across all the franchises. She knows how to host guests. She knows how to throw an event. I mean, we see each other. Heather's breakfast, the spread was immaculate. Chef's kiss, the fruit spread, the bagels. She had the chefs there cooking up bacon and the sausages and the eggs. Flawless. I said on Potomac or other franchises, you might get a piece of stale bread, a 2-day-old toast with some jam and maybe a croissant if you're lucky. But when I tell you Heather did chef's kiss, I'm not even a breakfast girl like that, and my mouth was still watering. You did that. But I love a good bagel. Being from New York, I love a good bagel with some lox. Again, Heather, 10s across the board. You did a fabulous job with your sleepover. So it was so cute because Dr. Terry comes in to join them. He says that he had the best sleep, not sleeping in the same bed as Heather. He was somewhere else because they had the penthouse for the girls' sleepover. So they're joking around. So now Heather says that Terry would love to have a sleep divorce where they sleep in separate rooms. So now Gretchen says, oh yeah, same for me and Slade, because he snores so much that he's sleeping on the couch. So now Emily just comes out with it and she's like, do you want to get married to Slade? Like, what's the deal? So of course, Gretchen is a bit nervous. She was not expecting that question. She's going around and around the mulberry bush about she wants to get married, but she's okay with how things are. I said, girl, okay. Now, may I tell you something, Gretchen? You can say whatever you want to say, but you and that man are not legally married. So when you said we had a ceremony with an ordained pastor, so in our eyes and in the Lord's eyes, we're married. Girl, you didn't sign those legal documents. So no, you aren't married. You're not married in the Lord's eyes or anybody's eyes. So you can fool yourself, but you can't fool you and you can't even fool yourself. You know deep down inside that you're not married, and that's okay. That's okay. But my thing is, don't sit up here and try to play yourself. You guys aren't married. It is what it is. And 16, like you said, 16 years of fiance, and she proposed to him. True devastation. Child, a mess. Oh, listen, okay, Jesus, listen, exactly. Jesus was not in the room. He did not go to that wedding, so she needs to stop. I said, girl, she's paying for a fake marriage. Exactly. I don't think California honors common law either, so not married in anybody's eyes. Damn. Gretchen is lame. We're seeing the same person from 10 years ago, no growth. And they're still engaged to this day. So what is Gretchen even talking about? Talking about a whole lot of nothing. Oh, I'm gonna get to your comment and give me 30 seconds. I'm gonna be right there. We gonna talk about this. We're gonna talk about this. I got you. I understand that Gretchen is not trying to legally bind herself to his broke behind. I understand that. I commend her for that. But here's my thing though. You're living like you're married. You are in a house together like you're married. So my thing is, why are you still with him? I feel like there's no point in being like this is just so foolish. However, which way you slice it, I don't even know why she's with this broke man for all this time. She shouldn't have been with him in the first place, in my humble opinion. But it's just this whole thing is such stupidity. Whichever way you slice it, I don't understand it. It's just dumb. Yes, thank you. Why are you wasting your years with him? Is the issue. Say this again for the people in the back, please, because I agree. Honey, I agree. She does not need to be with him. Gretchen is paying for everything for what? She cannot marry him because of his debts. Yup, they deserve each other. Half of what? Half of nothing. Half of zero is zero. She wants to be with him because he makes her happy. She doesn't mind being a sugar mama. Sad days. Dark days, honey. Dark days. Desperation at its finest. Who knew Gretchen was so desperate? I thought Gretchen was like smart. I thought Gretchen had high self-esteem. Whole time Gretchen's sitting up here with the spirit of a desperado and low self-esteem because, honey, what is this? So now you could tell Gretchen was super uncomfortable because now you have Heather asking, is it because of the financial issues? So even Emily's like, is everything still financially separate? Do you guys have joint bank accounts? Like, what's going on? So now Gretchen's like, I don't love this questioning. But then she says, listen, everything is separate. The home is in my name because I've always been strict about not having a man being able to control me. I said, Gretchen, why have you wasted 16 precious years with this deadbeat? Why have you wasted 16 years of your youth and you're like, I don't understand this. Like you spent all your 30s and almost all your 40s in this, like, this is so desperate, Gretchen. Like, what are we doing here? Girl, you obviously did not have a praying grandmother because absolutely not. So now they're like, well, Emily's like, wait, do you pay the mortgage? Does he pay you rent? Like, is he contributing anything? So Gretchen's trying to play dumb. She's like, wait, what are you asking me right now? Like, what do you mean does he pay rent? Like, I pay the mortgage. I said, oh, okay. So you're the one. So you pay all the bills then. Got it. So now Heather was just like me, baby. When I tell you, me and Heather had me screaming. She was like, does he pay for anything? I said, Heather, we see each other because I would have blurted out the same thing. So Gretchen's upset and she says, I feel really weird right now and getting questioned like this. So now Heather's like, look, her finances have nothing to do with me, none of my business, but this whole thing makes no sense to me. That's why when she proposed to him, we all thought that it was pure BS. I said, same here. Heather goes on to ask, why are they not legally wed? Why does she pay for everything? I don't know. It's just really weird to me. So now Emily says that as soon as her and Shane got married, they had a joint checking account, savings account, and no prenup. I said, Emily, Smart woman, because we all know that Shane comes from a very wealthy family. I know Emily said she hit the jackpot. Yes, Lord, won't he do it? We have Emily was really pressed to find out more information. She says, so what's the arrangement? Does he work? What is he contributing? The fact that Gretchen could not answer that question, I said, Emily, your answer is right there. This man does not have a job. This man is not bringing in $1 into this household. Now, here's my question. What has Gretchen been doing for these last 16 years since she was off the show? I'm confused. So you're telling me that Gretchen has been carrying the load for over a decade, like almost 2 decades? Like girl, it could, listen, better you than me, because absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely. My dad would come back from the grave and shake me if he ever caught me doing something like this. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I said, girl, this man does not have a job. You can't even answer, what does he do? Emily, and then when even Heather was like, well, does he pay for groceries? Does he pay for anything? And she still couldn't answer. I said, y'all need to stop asking her these questions. This man does not have a job. Nothing is being brought into the household except for what Gretchen is bringing in. I said, Gretchen, this is so pathetic. No wonder you ran back on this show, because you're getting tired. Your savings is probably depleted. You had to run back on this show to carry you guys on your backs now for the next 2 years, 2 or 3 years. Gretchen, I would feel embarrassed to come back onto this show. Besides the fact that you guys aren't even married yet, the fact that you are with this man and you are carrying the financial load, you are paying 100% of those bills, and he's sitting back on the couch talking about he has screenshots and audio of other housewives. Girl, you need help. This is shameful. I said, girl, this is not of God. I said, this is not of the Lord, honey. You said a 7 p.m. missionary. I knew Brooke would come to drag Gretchen. When I saw that scene, no, I had to come back on and talk about OC just because of this scene. I was too done. Like, I wrote in my notes, like, what the F is going on here? Child, they've been engaged for 16 years. Child, you said a broken dick and a broken wallet. My God, today. Listen, Slade is truly the housewife. He has to be breaking her back. I don't know. He might not. She said that it was broken a few episodes ago. And then we found out that he snores so badly that he's sleeping on the couch. So I don't know. And also, I feel like if you're the one footing the bill for a man, can you even get excited for a man? I know I would not be able to. I would not be able to think about sex if you're with you should not be thinking about sex with a broke man. So I don't know how you're getting excited off of a broke man. That's just me, though, because I have good sense. Oh, okay. We had the same mother. We had the same mother. We had the same grandmother and the same father. Because all three, my grandmother always said that. My dad said that. My mom said that. Exactly. No romance without finance. Exactly. Okay, listen. No, it's true. It's true. Like, it's very true. A broke man turns a wop into a dob. It's true. No, exactly. Listen, she went from a dying fiance funding her life to now a straight up bum, a mess. I'd be so disgusted having a broke man snoring next to me on the couch. I would too. Listen, y'all, I was too done with that scene. Romance without finance is nonsense. Exactly. I think she's operating from a religious standpoint. How? They're not married. They're still not married. She proposed to him. So that's 2 violations in Christianity. The woman's not supposed to be proposing to a man or going after a man. I'm just saying. And then It's frowned upon to be living with a man that you're not married to in Christianity as well. So that's strike two, if we're going from the religious standpoint. A woman shouldering the household bills. Strike three, she's out. So I don't know how religious I don't know what religious standpoint she's coming from, because if she were, she would not be funding a man, she would not be paying a man's way. She wouldn't have proposed to him in the first place. Oh my, yes, exactly, honey. The Lord said, "Now why am I in it?" Jesus said, "Now why am I in it?" I didn't even do anything. I mean, listen, he's looking down like, okay, girl, that's what you want. Like, I want better for you, sis, but I'm not going to force anybody to do whatever. The Lord's looking like, well, girl, have fun, I guess. A mess. A hot mess. Gretchen stayed more to save face, and she stole him from Joe. But Gretchen lost. Gretchen lost the minute she got on bended knee to a man, to propose to a man. You've already lost. There is no saving face. It's all shade, because y'all know how I feel. I'm very traditional about certain things when it comes to women chasing after men or shooting their shots. Absolutely not. No, ma'am. The fact that she was on bended knee to propose to a man. She bought that man a ring and asked him, "Will you marry me?" She lost. She lost the game. Like, you could never make another woman feel bad. You could never make me, like, you're a loser. Like, you already lost the game. You've lost the game. She didn't do anything but embarrass herself. I know Joe's having a good old laugh. Like, girl, you're a fool and a dummy and a desperado. That's embarrassing. Child, a mess. He gave us free will, and this is what she chooses to do with it. Exactly. All right, exactly, Melly B. Let him know. Thank you for the super chat. The Bible says, "He who finds a wife finds a good thing." Sis, stand up. Exactly. She needs to stand on up immediately. Hey, Rita, thank you for the super chat. Brooke, rip them a new one. Oh, I am. A mess. Bring back Joe for season 20. I like Joe a lot. Joe is my girl. Okay, God would never bless that mess. They're living foul. A man who does not work does not eat. Let's talk about it today. That's why I'm so surprised how she's so religious. I'm very surprised that she's, I'm just surprised. Like, I'm like, girl, you sat out there and proposed to a man. What did we do? A mess about this whole thing, child. Yes, isn't Joe's man successful? Yeah, he is. Joe's probably grateful she got out when she did. Oh, she is. She probably thanks the good Lord every day. So anyhow, Gretchen just wants to get off this topic. She's over it. So now we see Heather has massages for all of them, which I love. So as they're getting their massages, Gretchen brings up last night, and she says, "Guys, you got me in trouble last night. Now, Gretchen, you know good and damn well you have nobody else to blame but yourself. Nobody forced you to say that. You said that out of nowhere. So own up to what you said, stand in it, and take whatever lick you get from Tamra, because you know it's coming." So I was here for it because Emily said, "How did we get you in trouble? You got yourself in trouble. Nobody forced you to say that." I said, "Emily, I have to give you your propers again, because me and you are on the same page in this episode. I can't believe that I'm agreeing with Emily for the first time ever, but here we are." So now, you have Gretchen super nervous. And so she's like, "Again, guys, like, please just don't say anything." I said, "Gretchen, you know what this show is about. You know how this group is. You put your foot in your mouth with a bold-faced lie. You said it, so own up to it. Like, again, let's stop. Let's cut all this noise." And Heather and Emily weren't going for it. They were both looking at her. They were both in their massage chairs like, "Girl, accept this free massage, enjoy yourself, and shut your mouth. We're not going to keep quiet. You open your mouth and said it. You shouldn't have said it." So now you have you have Heather saying that Slade took things to a new level when they sang all this stuff. So now Gretchen says, no, we were just having a funny, silly time as girls. So then she says, I should not have said it, and I hope you guys don't say anything. So Emily calls her out for making them the villain. She says, listen, Gretchen, we're not the villains here. You open your mouth and said it. It's not on us. It's on you. So now Gretchen's like, please don't be an asshole and go back to Tamra. I said, again, Gretchen, you open your mouth, and that's the risk you run when you say things that aren't true, especially on these shows. Emily and Heather, in my humble opinion, are not petty if they go back and tell Tamara what you said, period. So now you have Emily saying that Gretchen is always talking about how terrible of a person that Tamara is. And she says, you accused her of having an affair the same way that she accused you of having an affair. Like, you guys are both even. So now Gretchen's like, well, Gretchen says it was all on the internet. She did the same thing to me. So now Emily's like, well, you two are the same then, no? So now Gretchen's like, no, it's different. So Heather's just like, Heather was so over it. She was just like, listen, girls, the massages are over. Pack your bags and get the F out of my house. Like, I'm done with this. Again, I was on Emily's side in this scene because Gretchen, you should have kept your mouth shut. You were trying to be messy. It flopped. It did not land. And now you are scared to death about what Tamara's going to do when she finds out what you said. Next time, keep your mouth shut. And you know how messy Emily is. Emily cannot wait to tell on somebody, especially when it comes to Tamara. So, girl, you made the biggest F up. Again, take your licks, take your L, take whatever comes to you on the chin and deal with it. I didn't feel any way about it. Exactly. She said it so they could say it. Exactly. Gretchen, dear, you said it on camera. It was getting back to Tamara either way, girl. Don't blame the ladies. Exactly. Exactly. She knows they're going to tell. Exactly. No, it's true. Stand in what you said is very true. Gretchen needs to own her words. I agree. We're all on the same page here. Now, as you guys can see, I've been skipping past the Temecula scenes. I just don't care that much. But when we get to this last one, the last scene with Tamra, Gina, Jen, and Shannon in Temecula, they're having breakfast and they're outside just talking, right? I'm not going to hold you. You can, for me, I'm going to speak for me. When they started asking the question about, you have Jen saying, Shannon, I worry about you. You're lonely in that big house with just you and your dog. I get nervous for you, right? Then you have Tamra fake concerned about, Shannon, are you still in therapy? Already when Tamra asked her that, I already knew that it was coming with, like, I did not buy Tamra's concern. I thought that it was already messy from the jump, right? But Shannon reveals that she goes to therapy multiple times a week. She does reveal that she grew up in a bit of chaos. She saw a very tumultuous marriage between her parents, and her mom told her and her siblings that she was going to divorce their father before she told the dad, right? So Shannon brings up her memory of how she was in college. She came home for the weekend and they had a barbecue. Her dad was home. It was a family barbecue, having a good time. And she felt bad because everybody knew, except for her dad, that her mom was going to file for divorce. So Tamra, you can fool other people, but you won't fool me. I was on Shannon's side here because for you to bring up how Shannon's dad also had an alcohol problem, that was real messy. And that's why I'm the biggest advocate for y'all. I know that you want to believe that your friends, you can tell them anything, but you really can't. And I'm not trying to sound cynical or bitter, or I'm just saying, be careful what you tell people, because when it comes to fallouts or arguments or a friend who might be jealous of you and they're going to weaponize that info against you, just always be mindful of what you share. I'm just right now in my life, I'm not really trying to go that deep with friendships, especially a new friendship. If we become new friends now, do not expect me to go deep with you. I just, and you can say how you want to, you can say what you want to say about that, but personally, it's gonna be very kind of surface level. We have a good time, go out to eat, whatever. But talking about stuff, personal stuff, no, like that is a chop for me. The fact that Tamara would bring that up, she knew what she was doing. And I love how Jen called her out. She was like, Tamara, that was a sneaky way to throw a dig in there. And then to also have us thinking like, oh, okay, it tracks of why Shannon's an alcoholic because her dad was an alcoholic. You know what I'm saying? Like, I did not believe that Tamara was saying that out of concern. And the fact that she just blurted that in there, like, oh yeah, by the way, because your dad was an alcoholic too, right? I just said, girl, let her finish telling the story. I don't know. For me, maybe I'm seeing it wrong, but I did not feel like Tamara had pure intentions revealing that about Shannon's father. And then when Shannon said, we spoke about that off camera, I told her about that in confidence. For her to bring that up now, how dare she? I felt Shannon's pain. I said, yeah, again, be careful what you tell people. I'm serious. Yes, okay, so we see each other. We see each other on that too. If I was Shannon, I would have talked about her kids and her affair. When is Shannon going to pull herself together? She's 60. Friends will always use that against you and throw it back in your face when you fall out. Listen, should have told the dad, not her kids first, because that will mess them up. And Tamara's so evil. I wouldn't tell Tamara my shoe size. I am screaming. Yes, only share what you think if repeated. Yes, that's my advice. Listen, if I share some stale tea, please, if I ever share some tea with you, please know that it is stale. I mean, baby, that tea is so stale and so old that I don't care if you could tell your church, you could tell whoever, like there is no shame in my game. If I ever spill tea or have a moment, it's old tea that I do not care about. Like, I don't care if you tell your mother, your pastor, like, okay, it doesn't matter. I don't care. Like, I don't care. But yeah, like, I feel that way too. Only share what you don't care will be repeated. That's how I'm right there with you. Yes, good on Jen for calling it what it was. Tamara tried to make Shannon look crazy. Stale tea only. Share some service level stories that you don't care. I agree. Oh, I'm glad that you're in here. Well, yes, you did not miss a whole lot with this episode. I skipped past the majority of the episode. Yep, not in the business of breaking news. Exactly. Had Shannon brought up Tamara's daughter, so not speaking to her, she would have been well within her right to do so. Yeah, because that was not right for her to just bring that up out of nowhere. And Shannon was so hurt. Like, you could tell that really cut Shannon to her core because Shannon was sobbing. So now you have Tamara trying to spin this on Shannon. She's like, oh my gosh, Shannon always finds fault with Shannon always finds fault with whatever I do or say. Like, I'm over this. I can't stand her. So Tamara gets up to go to the kitchen. She's like, F this. I'm not going to ever speak to her. Like, I'm just so tired of this. I'm so tired of trying. And I said, Tamara, you are a master at gaslighting somebody like they're crazy. You know good and well that your intentions were not pure because Shannon told you, please do not mention this. Shannon said in her confessional, we spoke about this off camera. Never in a million years would I think that she would repeat that. She knew that I never wanted that to be exposed. My heart also broke when Shannon was like, my dad's a 96-year-old man. That was in the past. He's a good man now. Like, why would you say that? I don't want to hurt my dad. And you could tell that she's like worried about her dad being upset about this. I felt so bad. I said, Tamara, that was real nasty work. And you know that. Tamara, I just don't like how you will really sit up there and gaslight somebody like their feelings are crazy when you knew what you were doing. Again, we see Jen confront Tamara in the kitchen. She's like, was that a dig? So Tamara's like, no, it wasn't a dig at all. And I said, no, Jen, let's be so for real. Do you honestly think that Tamara's going to admit to you that she was trying to poke at Shannon? Like, she's not going to do that. Tamara is also a liar. She's a gaslighter. So of course she's not going to tell you the truth. So now we see Tamara going upstairs to pack. She's like, you know what? I'm so tired of this damn trip. F this trip. I'm over. I want to go home. So she's upstairs packing. And now we see Shannon. we see Shannon go back in the kitchen, and Jen's like, yeah, I just asked Tamra if she did that on purpose. She said no. And Shannon's like, well, what else is she going to, of course she's going to say that. She's not going to tell you the truth. And I agree with Shannon, because of course Tamra's not going to tell you the truth. So now we see Gina and Jen talking about this. She says that she's happy that Shannon is setting a boundary with Tamra. She says, I think that time heals all wounds, but not all wounds heal the same. Now, Gina, for the first time ever, I'm going to give you your 10s. Gina, this confessional look with you and the hair, that wavy, coiffed hair, and that blue dress, 8. I never thought that in a million years I would ever compliment you. Girl, that is your best look to date. Keep that look. Gina was actually giving us sexy, sex appeal. The blue dress fit her well. It was a nice color. The hair was giving us old Hollywood glam. The makeup was just right. I said, Gina, your best look. I said, Gina, I gotta give you your 10s. Don't ever say that I never give the girls their 10s, because I do. You said someone done kidnapped Brooke, y'all. I'm screaming. You said she looked like Cinderella, must have sold some houses. Gina's real estate money coming through. Yes, whatever is coming through, Gina, I have to admit, that was your best look today. You look good. You looked good. Yes, she low-key gagged. Never thought we'd see Gina giving us gorgeous. I know, but she did. I said, come through, Gina. So now we end the episode with Gina and Jen. They're both drained from hearing Shannon and Tamra go at it. Gina says these women are 57 and 61, and they're acting like they're in middle school, and that's where the episode ends. Now, again, a lot of this episode gave filler, but the best parts for me were Gretchen and her nonsense at Heather's home. That was the best part of the episode. But yeah, guys, without Katie, I feel like this group is suffering. Y'all did the wrong thing, icing out Katie. It's a shame. I know that they're filming. Andy said that they're filming the OC reunion. I think it's next Thursday. So I'm just curious to know how that goes. I can't wait to see that seating chart. I think that Katie deserves to be first chair because she's been the punching bag all season. Yeah, y'all need to bring Katie back ASAP, because y'all really don't have anything to talk about, because I'm tired of the whole Shannon versus Tamra stuff. I don't care anymore. Gretchen and her lies are flopping. I'm over Jen. Don't care about her. Don't care about this wedding. I'm sick of it. So yeah, bring Katie back, because y'all need Katie. High key. How many episodes left? We have, I think we're getting 18 episodes. This next episode is episode 12. Yeah, this Thursday is going to be episode 12. Next week's going to be episode 13. And then we have 6 more episodes left. And we still have they still have their cast trip. They're going to Amsterdam this year. So expect the cast trip. Now, is Katie going to be on the cast trip to Amsterdam? Let me know. Yeah, you said how many episodes left? Too many. First chair for sure. Bring back my liar, Katie. Everybody has to be at the reunion. Oh, for sure. For sure. Too many episodes left for a stale season. 6 episodes of what exactly? Oh, she's not on the trip? Oh. Why did I think that Katie was going to be on the cast trip to Amsterdam? I didn't know that. Oh, she said, I'm really upset to hear this. Okay, well, Katie, you better come out swinging at this reunion, please. She did not go. That's such a shame. Oh, wow. Production did not want her to go. Oh, wow. Okay, now I'm really upset to hear this. No, Katie won't be on there. She said producers wanted to protect her because they didn't like the gang up either. Yeah, no, I'm praying. Lord, no, let's all pray Let's all pray that there is no 3-part reunion. Oh my gosh, it better not be 3 parts. This season has been such a flop. If they have 2 parts, they'll be lucky. I do not want to see a 3-part reunion at all. No, ma'am. Okay, she's going to go to the reunion. Okay, good. You know, Bravo wants that ad money. We're getting 3. I really hope not. I mean, they've got to stop with that. They really have to stop with that. Every season does not require 3 parts. Remember how bad season 3 of SLC was? And we complained so much that they ended up cutting it to 2 parts. Remember that? That's how, like, we need to go back to doing that again. Because remember that season 3 of SLC was so bad. Mary was off the show. Heather lied about the black eye. We only got 13 episodes, and they were trying to give us 3 parts. We said 3 parts for a stale season of only 13 episodes because it was so bad you guys had to cut the season short. And Andy was like, you know what? Let's just listen to the people, and we only got 2 parts after that. Yes, remember that season? It was horrible. The OC cast should be ashamed for bullying Katie like that. I agree. Katie needs to own her mess. Producers should have stopped the gang up on his tracks instead of not letting Katie go on the trip. I agree. Hey, the perfume preppy. Thank you for the super chat. Her life isn't for the Lord's daughters. I agree with that. I agree. That is the opposite, because God does not want a woman chasing a man. So I'm like, Gretchen, I don't know what's going on in your pea brain, honey. I'm just so surprised that she's this super Christian. She's super sanctified, but you over here paying a man's way. I'm just like, girl, I mean, listen, we all sin, but I'm like, at least if you're going to sin, do the fun sin. Don't be sitting up here being a desperado in sin. You sitting up there paying a man's way. Like, my God, like, girl, Jesus, get some help. The problem is they don't listen to the people anymore. There's a lot to unpack about Slade and his fake production company filled up with the stock photos. Wow. I'd rather be single than find a man. Exactly. Amen to that. Just a mess, y'all. I'm like, yeah, but so if we have all these episodes left. Do you guys plan on watching the reunion or no? Like, give me a show of hands in the chat. Do you plan on watching the reunion? Yes or no? A lot of these women better not come back next season. Yeah, I agree. Okay, you said iffy. Okay, you're going to watch the reunion. You're watching. Okay, you said you're not watching. I'm watching. I don't know about the rest of the season. Okay, so it seems like you guys are going to watch. I'll watch for the 2 parts. You said, well, I've come this far. I'm screaming. I'm not excited about it. The reunion, yes. I'll watch the first one, but the others we'll see. Okay, that's fair. I'm going to watch because I need something to play while I work from home. Okay, so we have a resounding yes for the reunion. All right. Well, I don't have anything else to really talk about when it comes to Orange County, y'all. But I just wanted to come on here quickly and give you guys a recap, because when I saw that scene with Gretchen talking about Slade and this mess going on, I said, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. You guys know my blood was just boiling hearing her say that she's paying all the bills. I said, a hot mess. We're not going to be getting the OC reunion until November, because we still have 7 weeks left of the season. So expect the OC reunion during November. It'll probably go off maybe like the week before Thanksgiving, if I had to guess. But guys, I have fun. I just want to hop on here quickly. I hope you guys enjoyed this fun, surprise, brief OC recap. I will see you all for Salt Lake City, though. So, yeah, I will see y'all. I'll see y'all later. I'm gonna end it here because I don't have much to say, And I just want to keep it brief. So I love y'all. I will see you all later for SLC. We will talk then. Now, y'all, depending on what happens in this episode for SLC, it may or may not be a live. It might just be a pre-recorded video. And then when we get later into the season, I'll do lives, okay? So just bear with me. But guys, I will see you all later. Have a great rest of your day and talk to y'all soon. Bye, guys.